What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Pat. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through an SEO competitor analysis tutorial on how you can find your local competitors, take their data in order to structure a data-driven SEO campaign, right? We want to make sure we have data in order to back up, especially when we're starting out a brand new SEO campaign. So I'm going to be taking you through a local client that I'm going to be taking on in the AC niche, and I'm going to be showing you some of the key metrics that I look for and how to find your competitors and use SEMRush in order to extract some of the key important metrics whenever you're going into a brand new SEO campaign. So without further ado, let's dive right in. What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to do a SEO competitor analysis. So you can tell right now we're actually in the SERPs on Google. So basically, whenever I'm analyzing a competitor, when I'm taking on a new SEO campaign, what you first want to do is you want to analyze the competitors that Google is already rewarding, right? This is going to give you a blueprint on what pages you need to create, what keywords you need to target, what pages for content, maybe blogs or service pages, need to be created as well, and also to give you some more in-depth analysis of what they're doing on the back end or off-page side of things in terms of their backlinks, social media profiles, and so forth, right? So whenever I am first doing competitor analysis, I go ahead and do a manual SERP check. So I just like to see who's ranking and pretty much why they're ranking, right? So for this keyword, that I put is AC Repair Dallas, Texas. So I'm going to be taking on a AC repair client. So this is an actual analysis that I'm going to be going through with you guys, and I'm going to be showing you some key metrics on how I kind of determine the strategy when going into an SEO campaign, right? Because you don't just want to go into a campaign blind without knowing what you need to target first. And of course, for local companies, getting this map pack is very important. So you can see reviews is going to be a huge part in our strategy here, as well as optimizing the website for these, specific keywords. And basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take a few of these competitors and we're going to go ahead and do a analysis on them. So I already took the top three. So I took Metro Air Conditioning here that we have, took these guys, and I took Baker's Brothers Plumbing, and then Cody and Sons.com, right? We don't want to include Yelp or like Home Advisor, BBB, right? These aren't real competitors, on a local level. So we do want to make sure that we're choosing, realistic competitors to us so that we can get a better data set for different keywords and content and backlinks that we need to, obtain to achieve the same result of getting on this first page, right? So basically what I have here is I have a spreadsheet and I just have some key metrics that I look for, right? So website URL, that's just the URL of the website, PA. So the page authority, right? And that's a metric from SEMRush to give us the strength of the actual website, right? So that's also very important because it's going to give you a good idea of how many backlinks you need to create to, increase your page authority. Domain age and the size of the website are other important factors that we also need to look at. Then we have referring domains. So that's the number of individual websites that are linking to you. So the reason I like to use referring domains versus backlinks is because you could have multiple backlinks from the same website, which is why I like to really just focus on referring domains. Top keyword, that's just the keyword that's bringing them the most traffic. So we do want to make sure we're keeping track of that. Total number of keywords. So this is going to give us an indication of, how big the actual website is. And it's also going to help identify, how much content we're going to be needing in order to compete. Word count. So I like to take the word count of their homepage because that's going to allow us to identify how much content we also need to compete against our competitors, right? And then top pages. So I always like to see the competitors' top pages, which other pages are bringing the most traffic. Ideally, you'd want to create those pages as well. And then page speed. So page speed is another ranking factor that Google looks at. So how fast your actual website or page loads. So we do want to make sure that our website is also in the same range as the competitors. And then just social media profiles, do they have a social media presence? Because, nowadays you want to make sure that you are setting up your social media profiles and so forth, because, you're a real business. So you want to make sure you're looking as established and authoritative online as possible, right? So everybody should have, their social media profile set up. So let's go ahead and dive in, guys. So the first one we're going to take is CodyandSons.com. So let's go ahead and take their URL here. Let's paste it into our document. Usually, after I do the metrics, I'd go into here and check out their on page, right? So their on page would include, their title tag. You can see here, AC Repair Dallas, Texas. So they have the exact keyword that we're targeting, which is AC Repair Dallas, Texas in the actual title. And then they have local air conditioning repair services, right? And I like to use a tool called SEO Minion. So if you click on it, it's a free Chrome plugin that you can download. Click Analyze On-Page SEO, and then it's going to give you the metrics. So, we have the page title, their description, gives you the URL information, and then you can see all their titles here. Headings. So heading 1, heading 2, and so forth. And then it even shows you, how many images they have, right? So this would be after I do this initial analysis. So I'm just going to be going through kind of an overview, right, of things you should look for. So what we have next on our list is the PA. So let's go ahead into SEMRush and let's throw them into here so we can get some better metrics, right? So let's go ahead and copy and paste them into here. And basically one of the first things we're going to take is their page authority score. So you see they have a 12 here, which is actually not too bad, right? Starting off with a good sign because it's really not too high. Next, we want to take the referring domain. So you can see here they only have one referring domain, and I'm assuming this is on a page level basis because you can see this is not their actual domain. It's actually a subfolder. You can see this is their actual domain here, and then /AC Repair Dallas. So for this particular page, they only have one referring domain. So we would, ideally I'd go back and check what their actual domain has. But for now, I'll just go ahead and put it on the page level basis. Top keywords, let's go ahead into here. Let's scroll down and we can go to the top organic keyword section. And if we click view details, this is going to show us all the different keywords that they're ranking for, right? And then you can see here traffic percentage. So this is how much percentage of traffic estimated they're getting from each of these keywords, right? And you can see that their main keyword is AC Repair Service Dallas. So this would be something that we would, make a note of. It gets 90 monthly search volume, which is not bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this since it looks like this is the one that's bringing them the most traffic here. Let me go ahead and filter here just to make sure that we are getting the right data. So looks like this, but this is just a near me term. So I'll just go ahead and stick with AC Repair Dallas. So let's go back here and let's just paste that in there. So we have AC Repair Service Dallas. Now total number of keywords. So if we go back here, go back to overview and then keywords. So they have 80 keywords that they're ranking for. So you can see there's the number of keywords that SEMrush picks up for them. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in 80 keywords there. Word count. So this is going to be on the page, how much words they actually have on their actual page. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight all of the text that is on this page. I'll go to there and then I have a plugin that actually does this for me. It's called, I think it's just word count. It's another free one that you can, if I just right click and hit count words, you can see it gives us how much words are on this actual page. So 808 words. Let's go ahead and type that in there. Now let's find their top page. Let's go back to SEMrush and let's go over to the pages folder. One thing you want to keep in mind is when you are dealing with a subfolder, if you're doing competitor research and you're in the top pages report, and this really could apply to any of the metrics, you want to make sure that you change here to the root domain. And now this is going to give us all the pages on their website, right? Or the organic pages for this report, right? And we can see that the URL that we had is actually their second top page. So we'll go ahead and leave that in our page here. So now you can also take a look at these other pages that are receiving some traffic: air conditioning Dallas, air conditioning installation, replacing your water heater, duct cleaning, etc. Right? And that's going to give you other ideas for pages you can also create. Okay, page speed. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and pull up GT metrics, and let's go ahead and analyze this and see, how well of a job their page speed is. And I'm going to let that load a bit. So let me go ahead and go back and just check for their socials. So this is very simple. Usually they have their socials in the bottom footer. So it looks like they have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So they do have socials. They might be active, they might not, but for now, I'm just going to put Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So, whenever you're creating your social profiles, you want to make sure you're hitting all of them, right? So, you also want to make sure you set up your YouTube, which is a big part, and, actually making videos from YouTube and embedding them on your website is also going to help with your SEO. So now let's go ahead and check if this is finished. And it looks like they have a 5.5 second load time. So you can see they get a B in the page speed. So, it's average. Usually you want to be in the 2 to 3 second range. So let me go ahead and put that 5.5 seconds. I'm going to do one more just so you guys can kind of get it how I would go about this. But usually, you'd want to take at least 5 of your competitors from the first page. So the next one that I'm going to do is Metro AC, because I think these guys were actually first. So let's go ahead and copy and paste them, and let's go ahead and put them into SEMRush. And again, guys, SEMRush is one of the best SEO tools out there for getting competitors' data pretty much instantly, right? All right, so now we have the metrics here for metroacs.com. So we can see that their authority score is 19. So let's go ahead and put 19 into their section. Now let's look for referring domains. And we have 50. And referring domain, guys, like I said, is just however many times an individual website links out to you, right? This is different from the backlinks because let's say you have 4 links from the same website, then obviously that's going to be reflected on the backlink count versus just the website itself, which is why I like to use referring domains. Next, we have the top keywords. So let's scroll down, top organic keywords, view details, guys. And now let's see what keyword is bringing them the most traffic. And for them, it's going to be HVAC Dallas, Texas, another good keyword that we can also include in our SEO campaign, right? It has a monthly search volume of 390, keyword difficulty is 58, and the cost per click is $34. So not a bad keyword, guys. So this would be something that we could do some further analysis into. And then total keywords. So let's go back here. And it looks like they have 364 keywords. So 364 word count. Now let's just go back to here. And then we're going to copy all of this that they have here. And let's see how much they have. Let's go to here. Count words. So they have 1,060. So let's go ahead and put 1,060 here. Top pages. So let's go back here. Let's go over to the pages report. And then here, so we can see that their main domain gets most of the traffic here. Looks like the second one is their ductless AC service page. So, if I wanted to, this could be another, page that obviously we're going to develop because this is a service that my client offers. But, you can go in here and do some further analysis. You can see there's not much content on here. I don't really see any frequently asked questions. You can see some interlinking here to these city pages. These are other cities in the nearby DFW area. and then they're interlinking to a contact us page. So, we could definitely create a better page than that. But for now, let's go ahead and put their main website as their top page, because as you can see here, it is getting 99% of all of their traffic. So that's it on that page speed. So let's go ahead and put these guys into GT metrics as well. So let's go ahead and click retest. Actually, let me go back here and let's paste them in there and test site. And then you would also want to do this, guys, for your own website, just to make sure or to see where you're at actually, because if you are slower than your competitors, you want to make sure you're at least the same, if not faster than your competitors, right? Even more coming up in 2021, as speed is playing a pretty important role on how Google reads and crawls your website, right? So these guys have an 8.3 second page speed. So I can definitely feel confident that, ours is going to be faster than that. We usually, aim for that 2 to 3 second mark. So I'm going to put that, and then let's check their socials real quick, guys. Like I said, you can usually find this in the footer. So it looks like they have Facebook, Twitter, they have an RSS feed. So it just looks like they have Facebook and Twitter. So let's go ahead and put Facebook and Twitter. All right, guys. So this is pretty much what I would do. At least 5 competitors, guys. I'm not going to go through the third one simply because I think you guys kind of get these steps, at least in the important metrics that I like to look at whenever you're kind of just doing your initial overview, right? Obviously, then you want to go much deeper into one of these. And I'm going to show you kind of how I would go a little bit deeper by using let's use these guys as an example. Go back into SEMRush and let's go over to domain overview. Some of the things that you can look at is you can see that the traffic over time is gradually increasing. There was a slight decrease and then it kind of went back up. If we scroll down, you can see their organic position distribution. So you can see how many keywords they have in the 1 to 3 spot, 4 to 10, etc. Right? We have the top organic keyword report, and we can also see their competitors, which could also be, further websites that we would want to analyze, right? Then we also have the backlinks report, which is also pretty important in your when you're doing your initial competitor research phase, right? Basically, the top metrics you want to take a look at is your competitors' keywords, top pages, and their backlink report, right? So if I were to do, for an example, a more in-depth keyword analysis, what I would do is I would go over to the keyword gap tool. And what this lets you do is it lets you put your competitors. So let's go ahead and do, I'll go ahead and put my clients, and they have a brand new domain and the website is in process of being finalized, but I'm just going to go ahead and put them in there. So, we're not going to have any data at the moment, but I guess it should work for this example. So we can see we have us and then we have 3 of our competitors. So let's go ahead and click compare. And then you can see here, it gives you the top opportunity section. So this is great to look at because you can see that SEMrush actually filters what keywords you're missing, right? And it gives you, the keywords based off of, volume. Look at how much volume this one keyword gets. 590 searches on a monthly basis, right? So this would be very important if, you were trying to rank an AC repair client, on top of the search engine, right? So all these keywords are definitely keywords that we want to make a note of when we're doing our keyword analysis and as well as structuring our page, right? We want to make sure we have a page for each of these keywords here. But let's scroll down, and here you can actually see the different keywords from each of our competitors. And SEMrush will already filter it by top volume to least, right? So, if I was going into here, I'd want to make sure I save this, HVAC companies, air conditioning repair. Let's see. We have AC companies and DFW, home AC repair Dallas, right? So we have some variations here. AC maintenance, furnace repair. So this is a particular service that, we'd want to make a page for, furnace repair, because people are searching for it, right? So I would be going through here and kind of quickly just, off the top of my head, choosing keywords that I know would make sense, for our customer. And then obviously, you could export this into a report so you can, do some further analysis for it. So that's just a quick overview of the keyword. So you can do up to 4 competitors here. The other thing you want to take a look at is the backlink gap analysis tool. And this is going to allow you to see what backlinks your competitors have that you don't have, right? And of course, right now, my client doesn't have any. But if you did, you'd be able to see which ones you're missing and ones that you could go in and see if you can also get a backlink, right? So for now, I'm going to just take an individual competitor. Let's go ahead and put Metro AC, and let's take a look at their backlinks. So if we click on their backlinks report, we're going to be able to see all the different backlinks that they have, right? And SEMRush usually filters these by page authority of that domain that's linking out to you. So you can see their top backlink, which is a no follow, is from expertise.com. So if we just open that, we can quickly see that it's kind of like, looks like a Yelp. So kind of looks like they just have different websites in different industries and they kind of just rate them, on their own scale, I guess. So this would be something, we'd want to get listed on. You can see get listed. You might have to pay, you might not, but we do want to make sure we at least try to get a backlink or at least a listing for our client right here, right? You can see they have another one from Expertise, trained dealers. So this is a good way of getting a backlink, guy. You can see this is a do follow from a site that has a 28 page authority. And this is a brand of AC type of equipment, right? So if you're a certified dealer for this specific brand, we want to make sure we're listed on here, right? And AC companies work with a lot of different brands, right? So you could be getting listed on many different of these websites of brands that you work with and see if you can get a backlink, right? So basically, we just want to go through here and see if we see any, for an example, a guest post. You can see freelancewriterstartup.com. Let's check this out and kind of see what it is. So this might be a backlink. I think Metro, no. Metro, okay, wait, is this them? Furnace air conditioning service, Metro air conditioning. So let's click on, so yeah, so this is maybe even be a PBN. It just looks like they're listing different companies here. So you can see that these type of links people are still building because they still are very well alive. Ideally they're not the best backlinks. You really want to focus on getting some high quality backlinks, building out some very good citations. You have national, local, and niche specific directories that you can get listed on. So directory company, this looks like a type of citation. So you can see it has their business information, name, address, phone number, and their website with a do follow backlink. Looks like they might have lost it, but ideally, you want to build out hundreds of these for your company, right? Not only for backlink purposes, but it's also going to help you rank in the map pack, right? So getting in this map pack is also going to be another part of our strategy, right? We want to make sure that our Google My Business is also going to be optimized, filled with pictures. We want to have a review strategy. We want to make sure we have, questions and answers here. You can see people can upvote these and you can, include keywords. You can see this one right here. Do you offer free HVAC in the Mesquite area, right? So they're including this, this specific city that they might trying to be ranking for, right? So that could be something that you could also do there, guys. Just making sure everything's correct in terms of your business information, having, a solid description. And then obviously we want to see if we can drive traffic to this to, further increase our rankings, right? And then one of the last things that I will look at is their top pages report. Let's go ahead and take the Baker's Brother Plumbing because I know that they are a big website, right? So let's go back to SEMRush. Let's go back up here, and then let's go ahead and let's go to domain overview, and let's plug these guys in. I'm gonna go ahead and do the root domain. So this is gonna include their entire domain. You can see the referring domains way up to 662. The good thing here is that we're only competing with that particular subfolder page here. So you can see it's their air conditioning Dallas page. So this would be the page that we're competing with, right? Essentially, we're not competing against their whole domain, which has very high authority, and they have many backlinks. The one advantage that we will have is that these guys do much more than just HVAC, right? They do plumbing, they do electric, and our site is going to be the way we're going to build it out, and our type of content is going to make us look like an authority in the HVAC space, right? So Google likes to rank websites that are very niche specific, right? So the more we look and talk like an authority figure inside of our niche, the higher we're going to be able to rank, right? Versus these guys that obviously they're ranking because they have a pretty high domain authority. They are a very well-known brand. They are, aiming for all these other services that is outside of the HVAC field specifically. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but we at least get some type of leverage that our website will be niche specific to HVAC. Now let's go back here. And then let's go to the organic research tab. Let's go over to the organic research tab, and then let's go over to the pages report. And let's see if we can find any pages that, would be relevant to us, as they do offer different services. So you can see they have some blogs going here, other blogs here. We can see air conditioning. So this would be, relevant to us. They have this air conditioning page, which I think it might be the one that we were just on. You can see they have a embedded YouTube video. So we do want to make sure we're doing YouTube. And if we scroll down, it looks like they're interlinking to a city page, Fort Worth. And then they have another video. So that's 2 videos now. And you can see in their titles, they're doing AC replacement in Dallas, Texas, maintenance plans in Dallas, Texas. So you can see they're, pretty much repeating Dallas, Texas, in most of their headers. And look at this, they have their map embedded. But not only do they have their map embedded, they literally listed all of their zip codes. Now, this is a pretty outdated SEO tactic where you just list each individual zip code, and it's working for them. Now, for the most part, this isn't really necessary, simply because it just kind of looks spammy, right? You're just listing all these different zip codes. And, I guess the goal is to get better rankings, but, this just doesn't simply work anymore. Might be working for them simply because they are an authority, and, they have a pretty decent optimized page. But in essence, you don't really need to be listing out all your different zip codes, right? Google's pretty smart enough to understand what cities and locations you're targeting. So what I want to do here is a great way that you can find out how to create a good relevant content is to find an authority website in your niche. So for an example, I'll just look up what is air conditioning condenser, right? So we can just look up like a common question in the HVAC industry, right? And what I like to look for is authority blogs, right? So let's see if we can find a authority blog here. So let's go ahead and take these guys and let's throw them into the organic research tab. And then let's do a root domain. And let's see if we can find any ideas for some good content, right? So look at this one. Pros and cons of a portable air conditioning service in Dallas, Texas. So let's take a look at this. So this is a blog, right, that they're making, and you can see that it's geo-specific because they're including Dallas, Texas, which is, our location, right? And you can see here that, they're talking about the pros and cons of portable air conditioners, right? So this could be a blog that we could, you know, take a look at and maybe even create one for our own, right? It's not too long, doesn't look very complicated. And from the metrics here, we can see it actually gets 128 visitors, right? And they're ranking for 86 keywords just with this one blog. Here, we can see 6 common causes of an AC compressor failure in Richardson, Texas. So they're targeting another city. Now, I'm not sure how efficient, you know, targeting this particular city is in this blog, because, you know, ideally you'd want this to rank, you know, more on a national level, because getting more traffic on a national level is going to help you look more an authority figure. And again, look how short this is. This is not long to outdo, right? We could create a way better piece of content modeled after this one and, you know, have as much traffic as these guys are getting. Just look at this. The amount of estimated organic traffic is 4.3 thousand. They're getting 55% of traffic from this one blog, and they're ranking for 158 keywords, right? This blog is getting more traffic than their actual domain here. So you can see how valuable it is to look at what these other competitors are ranking for, right? What type of content they're doing that's working. Because then you can go into this page, go to their keywords, and then you're going to get a list of all the keywords that they're ranking for on this particular page. You can see AC compressor, air conditioning compressor, right? If you were an AC company, this is what you want to target, right? Because if you're ranking for these different keywords and you have visitors coming from all over the US, it's going to make your website look as the authority, right? And this is basically how we want to go about when we're structuring my clients' content marketing strategy. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys found something valuable from this. This is a pretty quick overview of some of the factors that I look at when I'm doing some competitor research, content marketing research, backlink research, etc. Right? If you learned something, leave me a thumbs up, guys. I'll be posting much more content coming up in these next couple months, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.